and this backyard, the backyard of this pad was like cluttered, man, like super cluttered, like hoarder type shit, cluttered. And so I was like, you know what, man, I can't find the fucking gate to get out of this pad, dude. So I jumped the fence. I look over at the neighbor's yard, and I'm like, well, shit, they don't got half the junk and shit. So like, and I could see where the gate's at to get out. So I allowed myself over the fence, and I walked out of their gate. Unbeknownst to me, the people were home, and I guess they acknowledged the fact that some weirdo just walked out of their backyard and shit. And so I take off walking, and I walk up the street and around the corner, and I get to like these train tracks. And I remember I came to again, and it started raining. And I was like, "What the fuck, man? This where I stay is like hella far from where I was at. I think I was like close to Palisades or something. Palisade, Grand Junction, kind of like the outskirts of Grand Junction. And I lived in town, so to get where I was going, it was gonna. I'd been walking for hours and shit, and I was not in no condition to walk, and I was sick as fuck, and I was high as fuck off of Xanax. So I go back to the house that I think was the house that I left from, but in all actuality, it was the neighbor's house. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just hang out here because I didn't see any cars pass me or anything. So they obviously didn't come back with the blues that I was waiting for. So I was like, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna sit in one of these cars that's at the because they had like on the side of their house, their driveway, they had like 6 cars or something. There's like 2 cars towards the back side of the house, and then 2 more cars, and then 2 more cars, and then there's a fence, and then there's the neighbor's 2 cars. And like, man, I was just fucked up. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I go knocking on the door of the neighbor's house, thinking that it's the house that my cousin had, that I was doing the tattoos at, and nobody answered the door. So I'm like, well, fuck, man, these people got to be coming home soon. So I'm just gonna hang out in one of these cars right here. It was raining and shit, so I go checking the doors and shit, and sure as shit, man, one of the cars right there in the front of the house was it was unlocked. So I go. I was on the passenger side. I open up the door. I hop in, put my tattoo bag, set it on the seat, and I'm just sitting there waiting for these people to come back. And all of a sudden, I must have passed out or something. I mean, I did pass out, zonked out, and I wake up to sirens in front of the car, and the cops knocking on the window, and he's all, "Hey, sir, can I talk to you for a second?" I remember that, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure," respectable as hell. And I get out of the car, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he's like, "Could you put your hands behind your back?" And uh, I'm pretty sure I couldn't put my hands behind my back, and they saw that I was in no condition to put my hands behind my back. So I put my hands. I remember that when they took the handcuffs off of me, my hands were in front of me. So I blacked out again from Palisade all the way to Grand Junction to Mesa County Jail, and I wake up and I'm in the intake where they're right before they strip you out, where they strip you out of your civilian clothes and put you in Mesa County detention jail clothes. And so like I'm fucking tripping, dude. I'm pissed off and fucking I don't know what the fuck's going on. And so my so anyway, I get to Mesa County Jail, and then I forgot that the lady that whose house I was at that I was tattooing at, she gave me a couple other little pills. I don't remember what they were, but I remember I stuffed them in my sock and shit. And when the cops stripped me out, fucking this cop is standing there, and he's like waiting for me to hand me my socks. And all of a sudden, I pull my socks out, and then bloop bloop, out falls them 2 pills. One rolls over there by the dude's foot, and like we both look down, and like I look at him, and he looks at me, and we both look at the pill, and he just swooped him up and tossed him in the trash. Thank God, because that'd been introduction contraband, and I was already in there for some bullshit that I didn't have a clue what I was in there for. Anyway, turns out that I got trespassing, felonious trespassing of a vehicle, and attempted trespassing of a house or something, because I was knocking on the wrong house windows, and the neighbors were like, they're like, yeah, in the report they said, clearly the guy was intoxicated. The cops said, yeah, clearly he was intoxicated, and I was surely intoxicated. And so I get to yeah, dude.
They got that one right.
Yeah, they got that one right. So I go talk to my my public pretender, and I'm like, hey man, how in the fuck is this shit gonna stick, man? Like, cause dude, I never taken Xanax before, dude. I'm not guilty of anything. I didn't do shit wrong. This is what happened. To the best of my recollection, this is what happened. I go to my cousin's house. I told him the story. I break it down to him and shit. And he's like, well, you know what? Let's look at the statements of the witnesses and shit. And they're like, yeah, that's not gonna fly. And then yeah, you were intoxicated. Yeah, that's not gonna fly because you didn't know. You wasn't in your right mind to know that you was trespassing. So yeah, that's all gonna get dismissed. And it did. Got dismissed, and I was happy as hell. But I guess the moral of my story is, don't ever take Xanax when you're trying to come off of fentanyl.